What up? What up? What up? We're back. Hey, Get Right Fantasy Network. Mike, can't be more happier to have you on. We're gonna break down Maka Champions. I'm excited. Hey, hearing nothing else. Hey, it's been a while. It's been a while to work with you boys. But we're here. We're gonna break down. We're gonna see who moves on. What you got, Mike?
Yeah, man. So today we got some teams that made it into last week. We got Jake the Snake in the 101. We got Calbeck in the 2. We got Bit Boys in the 3. Jeezy in the 4 with Notar in the 5th. We got Silver Surfer in the 6th with KJ Flint. AB is King with Dem Boys 89, not confused from our OG. Then we go with Pasadena. What is this? Pasadena Patriots? Is that it? And then FF Season 1 with FF Reels. So these are the guys that made it from last week. These are the guys we're going to be talking about. We're going to be breaking down only the top 6. So these 6 all get a ticket into the raffle to be in our listener league. But the top 3 get to move on to September 2nd when we have our best ball draft for $50. So make sure you guys stay tuned. We're going to start, of course, with the number 6 overall person that we picked. Remember, this is a consensus of all 4 of us. We do this, like I said, it's all subjective. We all pretty much have our own views, but we have a good point system that works. So for now, this is the number 6 team, and it's sad. It's just, it hurts me very much. And the only thing that makes me happy is the fact that there are, So AB is King is asking, how do I get a ticket into the listener league? I just wanted to let him know. You already got one. You're in. Boom. Oh, you got a raffle ticket. To get into that, we're going to draw that. When are we drawing that?
Hey, big difference. Yeah. But don't, time out. Hey, AB is King. We'll get that to you. Don't skip over my boys' chat like that.
I didn't.
Hey, there was a reason for that.
But no, we're going to be drawing that another night for you guys. So make sure you guys keep tuned to what we're doing. But we're going to start with number 6, the number 6 guy overall. And yeah, AB is King. Just stick around, brother. Just stick around. So number 6, like I said, it hurts my heart because the whole time on the mock on Friday, I could not stop with this team. Oh, and giving you the answer. Drawing will be next week. So make sure you guys check out next weekend. Look at that. The CEO in the house letting everybody know what's going on, or at least one of the 2. So make sure you guys check out next Monday. We will be raffling off those tickets, or those raffle tickets that we have. We got plenty in there right now. So
shots fired in the chat.
Wait, stop for the Huskies and change your name to.
Jeez. Hey, we'll keep that one on very minimally.
Nah, you're good, brother. So I was rooting for this guy the whole time. This was my number 1 choice overall. And honestly, I'm glad that Dustin's here because this is the only 2 guys that picked this guy for this particular mock. And it's sad. And that's FF Season. This guy, I love this team from the start. I didn't like a little bit near the end, but the whole core of this team, I couldn't say no to this team. I couldn't. I put it as number 1.
Hey, you definitely had him number 1. And FF Season historically has been one of my favorite drafters. I think he probably even knows that by now. But like you even said it. Hey, that receiving core is ridiculous. Yeah. I think where he kind of lost everybody, and it's obvious when you get a receiving core like that, you're going to hurt a little later. So looking at his receivers, I'm not an Elijah Mitchell guy. Like I had him last year. I'm just not buying it. And,
okay.
Don't shoot me, but I'm not on the
Gabriel Davis. You've watched Trey Sherman in the preseason, he looks like garbage. Travis Price doesn't look like anything special. Sherman? Yeah,
Hey, Trey
Sherman.
Sermon sounds way cooler when he's. Come on.
The name might sound cool, but at the end of the day, Elijah Mitchell is running with the ones. He's the one that is the clear-cut number one. It looks like that is going to be the way it goes down in San Francisco. So for me, I am on board with him being my RB2. It is kind of a dead zone running back that I don't really like to get, but I think with the build that he was making, I think that he had no other choice. He did get an it was either between Akers, Montgomery, and Jacobs. Of course, I probably would have liked Jacobs a little bit more than Mitchell, but that's just my own opinion. But otherwise, I really, really like this team.
No, 100%. So Dimboy is asking if we could bring up the draft board.
Oh, my bad. I thought I had it up.
If you guys seen the last chat that we had, I'm not allowed to touch buttons anymore. I should have never been allowed to touch buttons. So, hey, thank you, Dimboy, for pulling that. Dimboy says he's all the way on that Mitchell train this year. Me personally, I don't like touching 49ers running backs. I could throw other teams in there as well. I don't like, and it shows in my grading. So, like, if you guys want to know what I'm looking for, I'm not into Baltimore. I'm not into their running back committee that they got over there. So if you got them, like, sometimes it's tough for me to get past that. But yeah, I mean, there's other teams like that. I just look. Hey, ABS King is saying Kenyon Drake to SF. You never know. You never know what they're going to do. Patriots are the same way. They're just going to game script. It's Kansas City's another one like that. I do like Isaiah Pacheco, and I know I'm going all over the place right now, but I'm just saying a lot of these teams, it's more so their coaching. They're scheming more than anything. They know they have the players. They have them in the right positions. So Elijah, I like it, but I mean, we see what happened last year. Is it going to be Jeff Wilson? Is it going to be Elijah? Or are they going to mix in Sermon? Is Trey Lance going to get all the rushes? I don't know. Like, I want to be on board. I liked Elijah. I traded for Elijah last year, but this year I just don't know. So I have to wait and see who it really is the hot hand once the season goes. I love Javonte. So he had a solid team, man. What really got me with him is the quarterbacks. I mean, Danny Jones, hey, Trevor Lawrence, like it was just a little weak. And again, FF season, you've been one of my top drafters every time we've ever done this. So it's nothing personal, man. I couldn't get past the quarterbacks on this one. I'm not a Devontae Adams guy. I'm not a Gabriel Davis guy. And then Miles, I mean, it's just a few guys that kind of lost me. I like his lower picks more than I like his middle picks.
No, it's all good, brother. I get it. I mean, for me, everyone knows how I stand on Gabe Davis, so that we won't even get into that. But at the same time, the quarterbacks for this, Ty Law, Daniel Jones, Goff, those are, yes, they are a group of QB2s that I understand is weak, but at the end of the day, I think they're at the high end of the QB2 spectrum. And for me, having them at that tier and having all three of them, honestly, I think all three are at that top of that tier. So I rather have all three of them than, if I can't get the top talent, which I didn't. I went to go for the top, or FF season went for the, top talent at the wide receiver position. I think since he did that, he had no other choice. And I think that's the best option for him. And I just like the build. I like the way he went about it and the players that he grabbed while he was doing it. So honestly, I was really happy with this. I know that you were on him on the sixth overall. But we were the only ones that actually cared because we were the only ones that actually picked them. So, Tycoon saying, I love that team too. I mean, it was different than everybody else's, and it still worked better than about half of them that I could find when I was doing this. So, For
the chat, hey, I'm the only other one that ranked him within the.
That's what I was saying.
6, so.
Yeah, you were one, or you ranked him at 6. I ranked him at 1, and no one else wanted to touch him. So. That leaves Anthony out of that, and agreed, nice 0 RB attempt. Love the top end talent. QBs needed to drastically outperform their AVP, and they might. So, them boys liking that team too. So this is what happens when you get 4 people in a room to grade one mock. It's just how it goes, man. So moving on, we're going to go on to number 5.
Let's catch up on some chats. Tim Boy's all the way on that Mitchell train this year. AB is king. Obviously,
if anything,
King
I think he
Drake
goes.
SF.
I think he goes to San Francisco.
I know Dim Boy said he's going to Miami, which is obviously trolling because they got so many running backs over there. Look, they need another RV there. We need your takes, Dustin. Hey, the world needs my takes. See, hey, AV is king, kind of with us. He fell off at Miles Sanders. I'm so off on Miles Sanders for sure. Not a Devontae Adams guy. Hey, huge distraction, great player, arguably best receiver in the NFL. I get that. I just think he's going to be more of that distraction with Derek Carr. For me, I lived in Raiders territory, before they moved. So I'm more critical of them. Derek Carr he's kind of that Duncan Dimes kind of guy. Like, I don't think he's gonna get that many long attempts like he did with Aaron Rodgers. For me, what Aaron Rodgers was great with Devontae, when he's calling everybody off sides and he's gonna hit him with a deep route because he's got a free play, and Devontae got a lot of yards on that. Aaron Rodgers isn't afraid to throw it up to Devontae. He has that trust. I know Derek Carr does too, but that's just me. I'm not huge, and you guys in the chat obviously weren't that huge on him too. If he went at the very last or third round, arguably into the second. So it's not just me, boys. And boys loves that team. I don't think they do that, and that's what's beautiful. All right, I should have skipped through all these.
I told you. I've been learning just not even worth it.
I did a hot take on Hunter Renfrow. I don't know if I'm ready to publicize it, but I think it's very possible that he could lead the team in receiving yards over there.
Okay, that's a fair take. I don't hate that. I mean, I honestly think that Adams opens everything up for everybody else. So,
100%. I think Waller's back. I think he really opens the field for sure.
Yeah,
Carr's one of the most efficient default throwers every year. Yeah, but when he's not in the same league as these other guys that are throwing deep ball passes.
He has the third highest completion percentage behind.
Yeah, the completion percentage, if you're throwing three and you complete two.
It's adjusted completion percent. It doesn't matter. He's still third overall among all quarterbacks that, thrown. I forgot the number, but either way,
I've seen that same stat. I'm not buying it. I watch Raider games. Not buying it. No.
All right, let's move on to number 5. We got Jake the Snake getting it with number 5. So Jake's team had Josh Allen, Najee Harris, Derek Carr, who we were just talking about, with T. Higgins, Keenan Allen, DK Metcalf, J.K. Dobbins with T.J. Hawkinson, Rashad Penny, Darrell Henderson, Tyler Lockett. I always forget Deshaun Watson. I forget his first name, so it's just
Dotson.
Deshaun Dotson. There we go.
It's Shohan or something.
Yeah, I always get it wrong. Chase Claypool with Mike Gesicki and Mitch Trubisky to round out the bottom half of his team. So for me, I had this. This is actually the complete opposite in a lot of ways. I had this team at my 1. Sorry, not my 1. My 6th.
I was gonna say.
Sorry, I'm mixing it up. Boy. There we go. Johan Doxson. There we go. So I had him as my 6th ranked team. We had Frank at the 3rd with Ant at the 4th. Sorry.
You're doing them backwards.
I mixed Ant at 3.
Just so everybody gets, we're reading everything backwards to you guys.
It's for a formula.
If you get first place, you get 6 points. If you get second, you get 5. So when we're looking at numbers, that's why we have it. It's like looking in a mirror.
Bad. Yeah, it's a bad mirror. So for Ant, it's his 3rd ranked team, with Frank being the 4th ranked team. So in this particular case, he made it to the 5th spot. I didn't hate this team at all. I understood what he was trying to do. I liked the build for the most part. I think he had nothing left at the T. Higgins pick, which I still don't hate. But I do think he could have gone with like AJ Dillon, and then, he still would have had Higgins or Allen available to him at that point, which then would have made a little bit of a stronger running back core. I don't really trust Penny and J.K. Dobbins. I do like the Henderson pick. The bottom half of the team for me just doesn't really do it for me. I do like Gesicki more than what they're talking to him about. But for me, I don't trust, the situation in Seattle, especially with Lockett. Dotson is doing pretty well in camp. So, he's slowly climbing a little bit, but Claypool, I just can't get behind, even though they said that he'll be probably in the slot, 90% of the time. But I do get the stack. I just wasn't on board with that part of the build. Other than that, I was pretty, I really like the upper half of this. You didn't have him ranked at all. So
I'm getting tore up for my Devontae. Hey, people regress. I said he's arguably one of the best receivers. I just don't think he's going to put up the same numbers. And so, hey, one of us is going to be right at the end of the year.
yeah,
for
sure.
Jake the Snake, I didn't. So again, I kind of covered a lot of these people too. I think I saved my ass by going over this in the very beginning. So Derek Carr, I kind of talked about him. Derek Carr is going to be consistent, right? Like I have him above Kirk Cousins kind of thing. Not huge on him, right? There wasn't too much right there. I personally like Tua a little more than him. I think he's got more talent out there.
Okay.
But
I think they have the same talent if you really want to think about like their team setups and how they are. I think they're actually pretty even. It's now just trying to figure out what coach you like and what system and everything involved.
No, exactly. So it's not just him. I mean, obviously, we talk about DK. I know this has been brought up. It's no secret. Talk about the quarterback play there. I feel like it's a fresh start. I don't know what DK is going to do with the new quarterback. I don't know if it was all Russ. I don't know if it's, offensive system, anything like that. Like DK is a man-child for sure. So he's just kind of in that same boat with me as Devontae Adams. Like, I don't know exactly what he's going to do, so I'm more of a safer option. I'd rather have the higher floor than, taking a risk on these players. So that's why if I can avoid them and I could get a player to me that's similar, that's more my strategy. And I know we're all different, so.
No, it's a good. It's a good idea. Like I said, I just had a different thought process for that particular part after I looked at the rest of the board. Some of the parts that fell to him, some that didn't, some things that could have worked out a little bit better in his favor. And that was the only one that I could find was grabbing a guy like Dylan at that 4 spot. Like I said, I'd rather be a little bit stronger at running back than I would at wide receiver. I feel like wide receiver is so deep that you can pretty much grab people during the year. Running back is pretty, who
the number one running back's going to be in the teams that are on a committee for sure.
Agreed. And it's one of those, the volume where it's coming from. I'd rather go with that. And AJ Dillon, even though he's going to be sharing, they came out with a quote today other day.
1A.
Yeah. 1A. So, I'm pretty good with it. So we got Calbeck here going, despite the narrative being negative for Lockett and positive for Dotson. Lockett is still more than a round better than Dotson. Good value on the pick. Oh, of course. Not saying it isn't. Not saying it isn't. And, either way, I can't get on board with either. Not yet anywhere.
Speaking of that, what you're saying. So with Jake, the things that got me is right there. J.K. Dobbins, I don't like that running back by committee. I can't do it. Rashad Penny, same thing. We don't know exactly what's going to happen there, even with the injury to Walker. And Darrell Henderson, like those they're all teams that
I'm more on board with
bad running backs. They're just scheming. Yeah. So they're running back by committee for sure. Whoever they feel like they're going to have the best shot at doing. Even last year, so like J.K. Dobbins and Cam Akers, to me, I feel like they're getting drafted so high, and I don't want to say it's a wasted pick by any means because they have the talent to get it done. They're going to have the best weeks, but to me, they're more best ball running backs than if we're talking about an actual league. Like, yeah, I don't want to harp on that one too much, but I love Lockett, obviously above Dotson. I'm trying to steer away from Washington, just because last year I was so high. Logan Thomas, I was so high on Gibson.
He just came back on the pit or from the pup, so he's back.
Yeah, and you see him start getting drafted. I'm in a lot of drafts right now too, and you're seeing him get picked up. Like, he has the talent for sure. It's just when you're looking at these teams, like, I can't put my finger on it. So if you can give me a more consistent person, I'd rather be that solid 100 than like a 150 and a 75 every week. You know what I mean? Like, give me a I want to disagree with that.
Yeah. No, I hear you. And then we got them boys saying Derek Carr top 3 in plus 20, plus 30, and 50-yard attempts last year. The volume is there. I agree with them. I am very high on Derek Carr this year. I think he can literally finish the year as a top 10 QB. But that's
Not
just
that impressive as top 10. But I can't disagree with that either. I'm not stats don't lie, right? So I'm not knocking that. I'm just not buying it.
Understood.
Not buying Derek Carr. You can show me any stat in the world. He has his stats for sure. Yeah. Not buying it.
Okay. Next up, we got the 4th ranked team right now, and he's actually listening. He just asked a question a minute ago, and that's the team right next to him, Calbeck. Calbeck made number 4. So to break down his team, he had Justin Herbert with Joe Mixon, Tua Tagovailoa, nice. Mike Evans, AJ Brown with Josh Jacobs, Darnell Mooney with Drake London, Antonio Gibson in the 9th, which just keeps on falling. Treylon Burks with Dawson Knox, Michael Gallup, James Robinson, Hunter Henry, and Jacoby Brissett to round out the bottom part of his team. Honestly, I had Calbeck at my 4th ranked team, so he's right on the money for me. Frank had him at 3rd, and had him at his 6th. Dustin did not rank this team, and that's okay. No worries there. But for me, I'll break down my little part about it. For me, it was just there were little bits and pieces of this team that I didn't like. The Darnell Mooney and London pick, I'm still not sold on. Treylon Burks, I'm not sold on. I understand that London and Burks are the top wide receiver talent for rookies. I just can't be on board with them as my depth pieces. I feel like I need to be a little bit safer and a little bit more conservative with my particular depth pieces. I need to make sure that they're at least consistent and out there and playing. And, that's just me. Michael Gallup, he's not coming back till November unless you're looking to use him for the end of the year. He's just, for me, getting him in the 12th. I'd rather grab somebody else. In this case, I'm trying to see if Tolbert went before him. So Tolbert went before him, which is a good thing. I think Tolbert is a better pick in general. But either way, I don't think Gallup should be one of those guys that you should be, focusing on right now. Other than that, I don't mind the rest of the team. It wasn't there. There were bits and pieces that I just couldn't get on board with. So what made it so that you couldn't?
I'll go to this first. Calbeck, I do apologize. But like Rasta says, if you guys don't see your comment, it's because you don't subscribe. So we aren't going to be able to see your comment. We got the trolls coming, which I actually prefer. It makes it pretty fun. But yeah, like you said, we're just trying to filter to the bot. So if you guys are trying to chat and we're not bringing it up, I think we brought up damn near every chat that's been in here. Mr. Falcone says, fellas, how you guys doing tonight? I'm number 1, right? I mean, you're gonna have to see.
Chris, remind me what your number or what your tag is. I forgot off the top of my head. I think it's Silver Surfer. I could be wrong.
I actually think you guys
it's been a minute, dude. My life is
ABS team is asking the same thing, but Ant's saying if you're already subscribed, be sure to hit that like button. Just good for us. So yeah, we'll get to all that. He is Silver Surfer. You're right.
Okay, Silver Surfer. Got it.
I've been a big fan of your draft, Silver Surfer, but not. Sorry, I won't go there. Calvin. All right. So this one, I know. Yeah, this one wasn't easy for me. So Calbeck, last time you drafted, I was the only person to have you in first place. I really liked your draft. With this one, I love the Herbert and Tua combo. I love Mixon. You just kind of got a lot of names that I'm just really turned off by.
Yeah. I
Mike
love
Evans,
Mixon.
cool. We get it, Mr. 1,000 yards. Tampa Bay receivers, I just have a thing for. So, again, don't draft for my preference. It's literally only my preference. I know how good Mike Evans is. Again, I have a lot of receivers like that where I can't back them. A.J. Brown being in a new system, kind of like what I was saying before. Sorry, I got caught reading his chat. But A.J. Brown, him just being on a new team. Jalen Hurts, obviously, I think he's going to be very run heavy. I think they're going to have a great connection over there. But all the way down, like Josh Jacobs, I have nothing for Josh Jacobs this year, and I was one that was backing him last year. Mooney and Fields are going to have a connection for sure. They're already showing it right now. So I think he's a good pick. I like Drake London. I'm steering away from Gibson. I haven't seen anything from Burks to feel one way or another. Obviously, they fell high on him. Kind of funny to me that you took Burks and A.J. Brown. Like, one of them has to be A.J. Brown, right? But then, like, James Robinson and all that. So it was more, like, deeper in the bench. I'll have to say, like, this draft, and obviously I've been in on grading every one of them. I haven't been on all the YouTubes and stuff like that. But, like, this was by far, I had to call Mike, like, hey, I'm struggling grading because I kept going back and forth, and I'm still taking it to, like, what it was on Friday.
Yeah.
We have a lot of teams that I went down to, like, it came down to the tight end on who was going to be in the rankings or not. Like, so they were deep. We had a lot of good drafts, especially when we get to these Friday night ones. It's so much competition that people don't realize. Like, it is very hard to grade. And again, it's all preference. So if all of us are putting in our own preference on it, that was Mike that said that for sure.
Yeah, no, I was saying I said that, and the reason why, I understand at the end of the day, you can pick up waiver picks and wide receivers and so on, but at the end, for me, you're wasting your picks on those particular players. That's my point. I'm trying to say you're trying to build your roster to have with you. I understand this is your depth spot, but I think you want better depth than picking up wide receivers from the waiver wire if you don't have to. So for me, Mike Evans, Brown, and Mooney, okay, good picks. But with London, Burks, and Gallup, who you don't have any idea about, when you could have had guys like, you could have had Tolbert at one point, Christian Kirk. I like Christian Kirk there. I understand it's kind of like a dead zone, but at the same time, I would have picked a lot of different guys there. I would have picked Almon St. Brown over Daryl Mooney, in my opinion, or Rashad Bateman or Juju Smith-Schuster. So there's a lot of different parts of this that could have made this a lot better. So that's just
I think the self-proclaimed CEO is saying you were all big on Mike Evans last year or no, or were you anti Mike Evans? Said I'm not there to chat. So I'm big on Mike Evans. I was one of the ones saying, like, he is a great receiver. I thought he was the best receiver in Tampa Bay, but I don't like Tampa Bay receivers because of how much Tom Brady mixes the ball up and their scheming. So
he spreads it out.
That's my theme. Like, if you guys want to count how many times I said scheming, Tampa Bay's another one of them, and that's why I don't trust them. And I'm trying to steer away from all those kind of receivers. I would rather take, like, okay, I'm not saying Mooney over Mike Evans as far as physical talent and things like that, but Justin Fields is going to have that connection with Mooney, and he's going to get the targets. Mike Evans, you don't know. Is Julio getting it? Is Godwin when he comes back? Is Rudolph? We don't know, because Brady is that type of guy that's going to complete a pass to 9 different receivers during a game, real Drew Brees-esque, which you could still say is Tom Brady-esque because he's been doing it so long. Like, that's just what they do.
Yeah.
Silver Surfer says rookies are tough to draft in PPR leagues. They're the true unknowns of risk and reward. 100%. A great example of that is look at Green Bay. When you're talking about their greatest receivers, I think it was Kluge who said, like, he has whoever Green Bay's number 1 receiver is ranked at number 7. Like, I'm on the Romeo Dubes hype, or however we're
I like him. He looks great.
But I mean, you still got Watson, you still got Lazard, everything. So even with these drafts, we don't know, and that's what makes it hard to grade. And that's why I try to go on the consistency, because I don't know what they're going to do. Again, we can't predict the end of the year, right?
And when I draft teams, I like to have at least maybe one out of the rookies, and the one that I, feel like I get a good value for him. Having 2 or 3 or more, and I understand, like I said before, Drake London and Burks are the top of those options for the wide receivers. I'd rather have one of them and grab someone else that I know that is completely consistent.
But you said over Kirk? I'm trying to think of the names too, because when you said that, I definitely disagreed. with you.
No,
I'm
no.
not on
The
the
other,
Christian Kirk.
I think he was talking about St. Brown, Bateman, Juju, Thielen, Gabe, Elijah Moore, like all those guys I pretty much would rather have than Mooney, rather have than London, all those guys. I feel more comfortable, drafting all that, all the wide receivers I can in that literal 4 to 8 range. Just, it just makes things a little bit, better. But that's my opinion, and that's just how I feel about those particular types of builds. That's all.
We'll go back to say what's up to Ron. He's in the chat.
Ron, what up, brother?
Yeah, I wasn't gonna put this one on there. I had to take a stab at you. Yeah, Mike Evans. So I like the touchdown dependent, but give that dude the ball and within 10 yards. Hey, he's like dependent, like his paycheck is on it. He is out there working. He's dragging people like
1,000 yards, 5 TDs.
Hey, amazing receiver, but for sure, Ron, we have some difficulties.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron. Hey, that's me. Like they say, I'm not supposed to touch buttons out here. Got to have a lotto ticket or two with those rookies. 100% agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't even need to elaborate on that. Like
I like to have one or two of like
a couple rookie running backs and a couple rookie receivers this year for sure. It's just who's going to pan out. Sorry, Michael. Back to you.
No, we're good, brother. He was talking about with London, Burks, and Gallup over, Kirk. I get that. For me,
throw Olave in there too.
But I wouldn't want to have all of them if I had a team. Like I'd rather kind of skip out on that. I like to reiterate what we were talking about. To reiterate what we were because I saw up before in the chat that Dan Boys is on my Gallup take. I really do like Michael Gallup. I traded for him in my Dynasty league a couple of years, about 2 years ago. Actually missed out on Justin Jefferson and Antonio Gibson for him. And the only and I do like what he's going to become. I really do. I think last year was a really bad thing to happen to him because he was primed to be the number one wide receiver for the Cowboys. And honestly, I think he is that talented that he can be that. And I understand CeeDee Lamb and I understand all that, but I really do think
just had the closest connection with Dak.
Yeah, Dak, and I agree. Completely agree. And that's where I'm completely okay with Michael Gallup. The problem with him is since he's not coming back till at least the beginning of November or the end, like middle of November, because that's just his timetable. And that's a big if. I really rather not have him as a draft pick. I'd rather pick him up later, or if I'm going to pick him up, I'd rather get him later. I understand you didn't really, for the
you want something more secure before you go on a risk like
I'm
that.
always like my first.
You're kind of like what Calbeck is saying right here, responding to Christopher. How many times do we see top drafted rookie wide receivers going late and end up feeling absolutely stupid?
Oh, I agree,
so
and I get it.
That both ways.
But I'd rather lose out on a rookie and have the stability of somebody better for the rest of the season. Like I'd rather have Devontae Parker, Landry,
over who?
Over those rookies. I'm saying later, I'd rather have him. And I'm saying just because I'd rather have a consistent player that I know he's going to be consistent in the system that he's in. Devontae Parker is the number one in New England. I know that I know that
he also put up 0 when it came to playoffs and screwed me a few times.
Don't even get me started. And
in
yes,
PPR,
he is screwing me as well.
Get 1 point.
No, believe me, that was my week that I had. But either way, all I'm trying to say is that those guys, for me, are a little bit more consistent because we know who they are. The rookies, we don't, and it makes it very hard. They have crazy upside, like we saw with Chase. And I'm not knocking them for their talent. I'm knocking them for, in these cases, their situations. You're with Mariota and you're with, Tannehill. I understand that they are going to,
it's going to be Malik soon. So.
Oh, yeah, he looks good. And I like Ritter too. But beyond that, all I'm trying to say is that the volume, the inconsistencies that might be there, I don't like that. I'd rather be consistent with my picks and who I'm getting. That's all.
I like that. It's that high floor.
Yeah. It's just
this reminds me. So what Calbeck says right here, if you guys watched the first chat that I messed up, I went live. Basically, what Mike was saying is he had a trade on the table. I won't go into exact details, but he's like, hey, I could get 2 first. And, Rasta came on like, hey, maybe go for 4 fourths, because you look at these guys, just like Calbeck saying, like Romeo Dubes, like Danny Gray, like these are your 4th round receivers, and they're the ones that are kind of having that connection, or could have that connection once it comes.
I'm paying nothing for them in like my Dynasty league, which is a salary cap league. So for me, if you're getting those guys in the 3rd, 4th round, I'd rather pay the price of 3rd, 4th round than, which in this case is like nothing. It's like $2-3 compared to the $17 to $15 to $13 that I got to pay in the 1st round, and hope that guy pans out. I did the same thing with DJ Moore a few years ago. He didn't pan out. He's in the 20s now, of being, $20 worth. So a lot of these things just, I have to be careful of how I think about it. But for redraft purposes, I don't like having 2 of those top rookies on my team. I'd rather spread it out a little bit and get a little bit of everything. I would prefer the vet over the rookie, and a consistent one that is, I want a guy that's going to be getting 90 targets to 70 catches a year. Like that,
Me too, Mike.
But that's the whole point. I want to know that, like, deep down, like it's like getting Mike Evans. Like I want Mike Evans. For
everybody here.
Yeah. So that's all. That's just how I feel. All right.
I like how ABS King says we felt super with Chase last year, but he got Chase, Debo, and Chase. He got 2 chases in 5, 6, and 7 in a money league.
Nice. Good for you.
Oh, he's corrected at Cup. Oh yeah, that right there. If you're sitting on, yeah. I was gonna say Cup and Debo alone. Like I could leave out Chase. Like
Cup.
Yeah, that's a win.
My Dynasty league. I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta love to see that.
Gallup was the next coming, but Lamb fell to the Cowboys. Yeah, I understand that completely, man.
Sure.
But he, like you said, he's going to be. We'll see who becomes the quote unquote Cooper. I don't think that Gallup is made for the Cooper role. I think he's a little bit more downfield guy. But I think he can roll into it. I think that they can develop him into that type of role. And I think that, CD will take over the role that he was going to have, but that's just me.
Let's hope not. I like Gallup as a 1 and CD as a 2.
Yeah, I hope that's the case, because I think that's what they can do.
And I think they're going to double CD a lot more than they do Gallup, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, well, and that's my other point.
And that's why we like Dalton Schultz.
Oh, I love Schultz. Schultz is one of my top tight ends, so I'm on board with that. Calbeck goes, I have 3 good starting wide receivers, assuming a guy like Kirk puts down a 12 every week. That doesn't help me. I'm never going to start him over those top 3. And that's fine. I would have played him in my flex over guys like Gibson. Like I wouldn't have played Gibson. I would have played Kirk. That's just my thing, and how I run my team. If I went running back and QB heavy and need a guy to start, I love Kirk, but that doesn't fit my build. Okay, that's fair. I just, little bits and pieces, that I didn't like. Den Boys goes, bench players should be used for high ceiling guys and potential playoff winners. In my opinion, high risk, high reward. If you don't need to start them every week.
Agreed.
I get it, but I like my steady floor guys too. Makes it where if I need to plug them in, if there's an injury, I can plug them right in and there's no change. So I just, that's just me. And then,
did we catch this one?
Which one?
I hope Burks figures it out. I hope it's not a waste.
It doesn't matter.
So don't trust anything right now. Just like we did with Chase, he couldn't see the white lines on the ball and that kind of stuff. Like it happens. Burks, they put everything they can into him. They traded away AJ. Hey, AJ Brown is a man child.
Yeah.
Just
No, he's a man among boys.
They were on the same team. Like it's not fair. Dak has always targeted Gallup more than anyone when he's on the field, and I'll bet plenty that he's back by mid-October at the latest. I agree. If I went running back to be heavy and need a guy to start, I love Kirk, but that doesn't fit my build. Can't argue it.
I understand.
Had you at number 1, last one, a couple of the names, like, so I try to take the name off the jersey as far as who's drafting. So it's not like it's not personal. Like, I want to see certain people do great in their drafts. Like, FF season has been one of mine. I had a streak where I had to stop myself. I'm like, damn, I'm
Yeah,
voting FF
I
season
remember
in
that.
damn near every
Remember that
time.
last time, yeah.
Because he just drafts like me. So there's a lot of people. And if you guys ever watch, like, if I ever grade a Rasta team, like, for sure F minus. But there's certain times, like, Denny is another one of them that comes on here, and I'm like, I want to just rank you at 0, just because.
Yeah.
But like, I really just take that name off the jersey, and I just try to go by the players, and that's the only reason why. So.
No, I get that. You're good.
He just had the names that I had.
So Silver was going, totally agree to have stability, but there are some rookies that are just too good to pass up on, especially if they are a bench player. It gives them time to hopefully develop. I agree. I have a different thought process than a lot of people. And that's why I like being here. Give you my thought. You can definitely, think of it that way. But I just think stability.
I'll tell you, my top picks are based on rookies in the late round. Not necessarily the early one. So I guess it kind of goes back to what Dim Boys was saying. I want that consistency in my starting lineup, but I'm taking risks at the bottom, like, just to go through, some of them, like, okay, I don't want to jump too early, but I like a lot of these young running backs, young receivers. Like, that's why, and especially in this deep of drafts, like ABS King, like, I loved your young guys. Notar, I love your young guys. Jeezy killed it on the young guys. Like, there's a lot of you. I know I'm not mentioning everybody, but because Pasadena Patriots with the Dubes pick, like, yeah, it's hard. It's hard to draft these.
It's really trying to figure out what grouping is going to be consistent. And yes, you probably do have the consistent with the rookies. I have you, like I said, I had you at my 4th rank. So, I just didn't see it otherwise. I think a lot of the other teams, in my opinion, were built a little bit better. That's just me.
I just want to say a big F you to this guy for that, because that's one of the two guys.
We did all those. Dust, I did all those.
All right.
Yeah.
I just move on. I just wanted to get his stuff off. But
no, you're good, brother. Let's move on to the number 3 team. Unfortunately, he's probably not in here listening, but it's okay. He'll check us out later.
Hey, I want to real quick. I just remember something. So if you guys have Twitter, check out R Wilson 27, I believe, is the correct one. Obviously, you guys probably all know Wilson, so he has a chance for us to get the listener league, possibly our draft. And correct me if I'm wrong, Mike.
We'll see. Yeah,
get our draft on XM Radio. They're doing a Twitter poll right now, so if you guys see that, we can be broadcasted on XM Radio, which I think is pretty cool. So if you like it, make sure to check out Wilson's. He's the one with the license plate. Toss a vote that way if you guys have a Twitter.
Hell yeah. Make sure you guys check that out. I'll try to retweet that as well. So Ethan had one more question before we move on. He wants to see the top 3. And, the saying is that everybody becomes the value at some point. Obviously, Gibson is falling. I don't like him either. But when does he become a value for you?
Never.
Like, I'm glad we answered the same way there.
You're right.
No, you're definitely 100%
right. But I don't have that value on him.
Honestly, like, when he comes, he can't get value for him. Like,
I'm scarred by him. I don't
see it. I'm
scarred by him. I try to get him in every league. Him and Logan Thomas, I was so high on him. So a lot of that's just personal bias.
I think in redraft, he's someone I can't touch. I don't mind him in best ball leagues. I think he's a good value where he is. But the thing is that now in redraft, he's falling because of all the Brian Robinson news, as we just said right here. I'm
not buying Brian Robinson either.
No, I'm not either. But you know what? If he's being used the way he is, I'd rather have Brian Robinson in the 14th than Gibson in the 9th. That's where my value is, So that's just
what did the guy do?
He was fumbling in preseason. He looked like crap. Then they're trying him out on special teams to try to find out a way to keep him on the team. They have 5 they have 5 running backs or 6 running backs that they're going to they're probably going to keep 5 running backs. They probably have 7 on the roster, and they're just trying to see who they can keep and who they can't. I mean, tonight, Michael Carter sat and Breece Hall played. Does that mean that Breece
Was it
Hall
vice
is...
versa?
No, it was Breece Hall played and Michael Carter sat. So
Okay.
does that mean that Michael Carter's the running back one on this team? No, he's a freaking rookie. But then you look into the conversation that Dameon Pierce was sat and all the other running backs played for Houston. You know,
Hey, Damian Pierce is that boy. He
no,
got
I
that
agree.
job. He runs. Hey,
But here's my thing about that, and
I
this
don't
is
even buy
where...
into preseason. Hey, that's that boy right there for
No, I
sure.
agree, and this is why you can't really read too much into it. And this is just my opinion about it. The reason why that teams are doing little messed up things that we are thinking like, why the hell are they doing this? There's 3 preseason games, and they need to cut their roster in like half. They're going from 92 to 53 in a matter of like 2 weeks. So it's one of those things where they're cutting players and they need to see how they play. So those
For sure.
stars, they're gonna get their, you know, their playing time. And yeah, the guys that they want to, you know, have bubble wrap, they will. But at the end of the day, it doesn't mean nothing. It doesn't mean shit until literally until the 53-man cut roster. Like that's when we'll know. That's when
It's
I'll
all
know.
smoke and mirrors right now.
Oh, agreed. And then when we see that we're waiting for week 1 official depth chart. That's what I'm waiting for. But at the end of the day, I don't see them not keeping, you know, someone like Robinson. And I don't see, you know, I definitely see the draft capital that they used on Gibson. So that kind of money plays a little bit. I don't know. I honestly just am not high on, you know, that right now. Like I'm not high on Gibson. I'd rather take someone else. I'd rather take, you know, Robinson or I was going to
I
say
disagree then.
Patterson, but
I totally would take Gibson over Robinson. You're right. They do have 7 running backs. Obviously, they're not all going to make it.
no.
But, I mean, Robinson went 8 for 31. Like, that's cool. Almost got 4 yards. I think everybody kind of in here is, 8th round and 12-man for Ron, saying that's crazy. Brian Robinson season, he's saying that Gibson obviously has value. Trade him after week 1. Definitely a possibility. Sounds like Calbeck's agreeing with that. It's not Robinson's season. He won't be able to block. See, okay.
Yeah, let's just let them talk it. Let them talk that out. Let's move on to number 3. So
I'm trying to skip. I don't know a good skip to go to.
I already read the whole thing. Just move on. So you guys enjoy that. Make sure you guys check us, you know, come back to us, watch what we're doing now. So top 3.
Hey, stay safe in the chat, boys.
Yeah.
Stay safe in the Robinson versus Gibson chat. Hey, we're just going to bypass that one. Like I said, it's not anything to do with Cowboys. I try to steer away.
Me neither. I'm a Giants fan.
Steer away from Cowboys. Last year, I was huge on Washington players. This year, the only one I really like I like Saquon from the Giants. I like a couple people from the Eagles.
Terry.
I'm on the Jalen Hurts train, that kind of stuff. What's up, Jay Media?
What up, Media? Look at that.
That's a great one. Hey, thank you for breaking up the chat for us. Sorry, Mike. Hey, Gritty Mike, back to you.
All right, man. So we're going to go to number 3. The number 3 overall team is KJ Flint. So KJ Flint made the top 3. He's the number 3 guy. He's in there. He made it. Mike is a bit snappy tonight, and I haven't been drinking. Weird. So KJ Flint's team is Kyler Murray, Aaron Rodgers with Alvin Kamara, James Conner, AJ Dillon, Marquez Hollywood Brown with Michael Thomas, Alan Lazard. Yeah, Marquez, whatever.
Marquise,
whatever. I'm bad at saying any name other than John. Alan Lazard with Robert Woods, Ryan Tannehill, Cole Kmet, who I'm slowly climbing in my rankings, Alexander Madison, Christian Watson with David Njoku, and the Giants' very own Wan'Dale Robinson. So
don't do the Giants' very own. Like that wasn't even called for.
Yeah, I had to. So for this, we had he was ranked as our number 3 consensus pick. I had him as my 5th ranked. Dustin had him at his 5th ranked. Frank had him at his 2nd ranked, and had him at his 5th rank. So that one pick, that one guy got you moved up, so you can thank Frank later there, KJ Flint.
That's the kind of stuff that gets you into the championship.
Yeah.
Hey, 5th ranked team 3 times. I'm not knocking this team at all.
No, I can't. And honestly,
and I love the way that KJ drafts. I do.
Yeah, I like this build. I don't hate it. There's a little bit of risk involved for a lot of the players. We just got a little bit of word that Michael Thomas, is a little banged up, which, I mean, if you didn't know that was coming, you come on now. Alvin Kamara with his legal stuff, he's going to be fine. If you look at Drew Davenport on Twitter, he will explain like he's completely fine for this year. So don't be scared to draft Alvin Kamara. James Conner, I like. Dylan, I'm fine. Brown, I like him for the first 6 weeks. We'll see what happens. Lazard, I definitely like. Robert Woods coming back from the injury. I still think he's going to be the number 1 receiver in Tennessee. Like I said, I'm slowly climbing on board the Cole Kmet train. It is what it is. It's just one of those things. I liked what happened. I don't know if you got to see the Bears game the other day against Seattle, and they basically ran through that line like butter. And he was running for, Justin Fields was running for his life, and all he could do was check down. So I do like Kmet in that way. I think that's one reason why I just don't trust Darnell Mooney. I just don't think Fields is going to have time to freaking pass the ball any farther than 2 yards. So make sure you keep an eye on that. David Njoku, I think, is going to be fine. Wandell I think he's solidified his role as the number 3. So I really do like him as well. So I don't hate this team. I like the way he built it. I think that a wide receiver at that point, I think Sutton would have made that a little bit better, would have made things a little bit nicer in a way, because you got a solid, steady guy for running back or for wide receiver. I'm normally on board with the, heavy RB builds, but for this, the pieces that fell to you, I know that you probably had to pivot a few times, but it's okay in my opinion. What about you?
I will say, hey, boss, give us a second. We'll read off the top 3. Once we read off the top 3, Mike, that's to you. I don't know.
No.
I'm just out here reading. Get him, Anthony.
No, we're good. We did this last time.
Yeah, get that off of here. Yeah, we're not putting none of these Niner ones on. Oh, or an Eagles fan. Yeah, skipping chaps. Man, you kind of broke it down really good, but
yeah.
I'm absolutely in love with KJ Flint's team. When I get to quarterbacks and running backs, it was after that. I'm not on the Marquise Brown, Hollywood Brown hype.
Yeah. I think it was weak at wide receiver.
Yeah, that's all that it was here because he was absolutely killing it. He could have recovered it for me again. Marquise Brown's just one of those names for me that I'm getting 0 shares of.
Okay.
Lazard, it goes back to who is the number 1 receiver going to be over there.
No, I think it's going to be Lazard.
It could be, right? I know Rodgers kind of talked great about his rookie receivers. We don't know who he's going to feel that connection with. Whatever the what is it, Alahusha or whatever, whatever the psychedelic he's taking right now.
Oh no, hey, I won't go too deep into that stuff, but honestly, the league should look into that study because, to be completely honest, it is actually an effective treatment for concussions and the symptoms and so on and so forth, and it will help with these, people that have CTE. I'm telling you now, we
should have that discussion. I think that's going to be a great show.
That's another day. No,
marijuana.
Oh yeah, that's a whole different animal.
Definitely not alopecia, but whatever he took.
No, what I will suggest for those who want to take a deeper look into it, go if you don't have HBO, go to HBO. Get it, find it. Go to Real Sports and 2020. I think in 2020 they did an episode about it. So definitely check it out. It's worth the watch. A lot of hockey players, a couple other sport guys too. They had a bunch of concussions, had all these mood things, all these crazy things, did that, and they swear by it. So definitely check it out.
Mike,
It's definitely
break it
worth
down. I need 30 seconds.
Go
Hey,
for
but I did realize a few things reading the chat. Ronald, I like you a lot less now.
it.
Hey, AB is King is a Lions fan. So literally we found the only 30 Lions fans in the whole world, and they're all in our chat. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
He's an AB fan. He's a Lions
Media
fan.
said he's a Lions fan?
That's what he says.
Nice. I like it, media. No, man, I you want to know something really funny? This for me, I am actually on board with the Lions. I am a huge fan. Honestly, brother, I'm a huge fan of Dan Campbell. I like that guy's drive. I like what he has to say. I love the guys he picked for his staff and who he has on that team. Jamal Williams is just a fiery player. Always been that second guy, but he's always had that ability. I like him a lot. Dan Campbell in general, I didn't realize like Amon St. Brown had like a dad that was a bodybuilder and all that stuff. Like all these things. Like I like this show for that reason. I really like how they, portray everybody. I really love Deuce Staley and how him and the defensive coordinator get together. So I am really, really, really on board with the Lions this year. I think they have honestly, my bold prediction, probably 8-9. Like if I want to be really bold, I want to say that they're going to go from what they were last year to 8-9. And I think that they have the weapons, the tools, the ability to get there, but we'll have to wait and see. Like he is just, and I love this from them boys saying, I'm just jealous that Dallas didn't hire Campbell. And honestly, they should have, man. Campbell's I think he's a high quality, coach. He's, who was it? Bill Parcells himself recommended him to a lot of people, and he's worked with Sean Payton and a few other people. He was actually, if memory serves me, he was a Giant as well. So I think he was drafted by the Giants, if memory serves me. So he is he's someone that, the team, the whole thing, I'm loving. So, I like that. Lions will be competing for the division in the upcoming years. I think they will too.
I feel like I've been saying that for years. I think everybody secretly always roots for the Lions. I think it's cool that they're now on.
They're a good underdog. Yeah.
I've been saying that for years, that they have the roster to do it and all that kind of stuff. So I still want to see them do good. I would never sit here
and them boys trying to pick one. Look at them boys trying to outdo me with the wins here. 9-8. I think they can go 8. I don't want them to get over, because then they just will be too hyped up. I want them to stay under that. Honestly, I think that I don't
see it, guys. Hey, I don't see it.
Ronald, I disagree. I think Goff is more than serviceable. I think he's an elite quarterback in real football. Let's just put it that way. In real life football, he's probably the bottom tier of elite, but he is a really great quarterback that I think people are sleeping on. And I think he's got the weapons.
I put the Lions at 6 wins at best.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's me being very nice. And they definitely beat the Giants.
I think they could. So they have a star-studded secondary. I think I strongly agree with that. They did have a couple of good picks that just kind of fell. But all right, let's get out of this and move on to the number 2 pick overall of this particular mock. Also, make sure you guys are liking. Way
to keep us on track.
Yeah, I try. So make sure you guys like and subscribe to the show if you haven't already. We got 9 people watching us now. We should have more than 9 likes in that box. So make sure you guys are liking and subscribing to the channel if you haven't already.
Now, 41% of our viewers are subscribers.
Ooh.
Tough crowd.
Well, either way, let's move on to number 2. Number 2 is Bit Boys. Bit Boys made it to the number 2 overall team. This is Dustin's number 2 team, and this is Frank's favorite team. I'm sorry, brother. You did not make my team. You didn't make my roster, unfortunately, for my top 6, and you didn't make – oh, wait. Did I forget Ant? No, Ant didn't rank you either in this top 6. So unfortunately, you still, fortunately, you made it to number 2. So you are in for the top 3 for our best ball. You drafted Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, DeAndre Swift with Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Deontay Johnson with Carson Wentz, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, DeAndre Hopkins with Melvin Gordon, Mariota, Tyler Boyd, Isaiah Spiller, and Hayden Hurst to round out the bottom part of the team. Now, Dustin, please tell me why you put this team at 2.
All right. So I get why you guys could hate. He has 2 receivers from the same team.
Yes. Big reason.
I think Joshua Sanders kind of just said that. Hey, he was in a good spot. But, I mean, putting that all together and me even adding Wentz in there. This one was very tough for me, so I went back and forth. The Derrick Henry and Swift and Tyreek Hill, like, that just wins me over. So I did say consistency and scheming and all that kind of stuff. I think Tyreek is still going to be Tyreek no matter where he goes. He's one of the few receivers that I feel that way about.
Okay.
But I also like he went late round, so kind of like Dim Boys was talking about in the chat. I think D-Hop, right, he's going to serve us 6 games. He's coming back. I'm personally not into the Hollywood Brown hype, so we all know, like D-Hop, we were just calling him the best receiver in the game 2 years ago. We had the Michael Thomas train and all that kind of stuff, but like D-Hop was the most physical. He went to a new team. We switched it, kind of like Devontae. We're going to say he was the best receiver, and everything switches, right? So I just think to put that into perspective, like even if you're talking about Deshaun Watson, that's why I'm high on Amari right now. Like, obviously, it's going to be the later end of the year. It's somewhat similar to a D-Hop pick over there, but he's going to find that guy that he trusts, just like Rodgers is going to find that guy that he trusts. And that's why we're all chasing these Green Bay receivers. But I like what he did. Melvin Gordon, he's going to get his action. We're all waiting and hoping on the Javonte.
Oh,
I held him all year last year, even in very short bench
leagues. He's getting
leagues.
70-30. I can see it now.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely been trying to phase off of Melvin Gordon.
Gordon will be closer to the goal line.
Last year, I was defending Gordon. People were treating him like he was girly. So, yeah. I mean, he still has a role in the NFL.
I agree.
They want to rock with him. But I'll say, like, a lot of these picks, like Mariota, cool, you got a third running back or a third quarterback. Like, it's always great to do that. I'm really big on the Isaiah Spiller. I'm not saying that Eckler's going to get hurt, but I feel like he's one of the top safety valves that you can have in the league right now. So,
see, I love this because he's my boy right there. I've been on the AJ Green train over for the first 6 games. Yeah, I understand it's 6 games, whatever. If he does well in those 6 games, he's going to explode. And I think that they're going to use him and trust him a little bit more, which will move him up to that, the solid 2 spot, and using Brown as more of a slot receiver over a guy. I have a feeling, and that's just how I feel about it. I'm on board with Rondell, on Ronald right here with Rondell. Here's my thing. So here's my thing. I had a guy look to trade, and he's like, "So do you want Rondell Robinson?" And I wanted to respond like, "So do I want it? Are you asking the same thing as I wanting like an enema or something like that? Like I just don't want it. Like I don't need it. Like what's the point? Like why are you offering me this piece of shit? Like I don't need it. Thank you." And my next thing, I was going to bring this up. Spiller has, he has to get past Joshua Kelly, and unfortunately, Joshua Kelly is being hyped up right this moment. So also he's saying Gordon becomes an instant RB1 if Javonte goes down. Of course, he's basically AJ Dillon light. He is definitely the one of the best running back RB2s that you can pick up. Because he'll just jump as an RB1 within that week if Javonte's hurt. So
I just don't think he's ever secured that even RB2 spot. Personally, I think every time I think that Eckler, when he goes down, everybody's chasing two different running backs.
Oh, you're talking about the Chargers. Okay.
Yeah. But I mean, I do want to go back. I think Rondale is going to be mixed more into the offense than what we're giving him credit for. AJ Green's one of my all-time personal favorite. I'm not saying best, but one of my personal favorite wide receivers ever.
Okay.
But they want to mix Rondale in. And I think they're going to. So even if that running back, wherever they need to put him, like Rondale's getting targets.
He's a gadget guy, though. That's my problem.
Total gadget guy.
Yeah. Emil, going thoughts on DJ Chark? He just
we
missed
love
the conversation.
DJ Chark, Emil.
I love DJ Chark. If you can get him anywhere, get him, because I think he's going to be the steal of drafts this year. Honestly, I think he's going to jump up to wide receiver 2, like high end wide receiver 2. And I think people are going to be like, what the hell is he doing here? I think he's going to have a great year. I think
people forgot. They have a lot of recency bias.
Forgot. Yeah.
A lot of people have recency bias, and it's kind of like the D-Hop. Like when we're talking about
this
D-Hop.
Is Allen Robinson. This is Allen Robinson. 100%. I guarantee it.
That's a good call.
They play together.
I like them boys on this to bounce back. I like
I agree.
I'm saying that Ertz might be the leader. Ertz is one of my favorite tight ends that are out there right now for
yeah,
big time.
And this is a good point that Chark was good on the Jags and then he got injured. He's good, and honestly, he really is. Chark is a stud. He's kid huge. Can play. Yeah, he's like where is he? Right here.
I want to say he's only 6'4".
6'4", 205. He's got that build. He's got the build of one of those prime receivers. I'm on board.
He's scared.
I don't want. No. Hold on a sec. I need to address this real quick. This guy Classic has CMC as RB7, but thinks Goff is an elite, and AJ Green is going to explode. I'm about to unsubscribe to this nonsense. Then you should unsubscribe. To
make sure you like and subscribe first, everybody. Hey, everybody, before Rasta talks you into unsubscribing.
No, I'm kidding. You got to understand. There's reasonings for especially for that CMC pick. I don't see him finishing at the 101. I'm not going to rank him at the 101. It's just not happening. I like JT way more on that spot. I like 4 other guys way better than him. And if you can give me something other than his stats from 2 years ago, I don't want to hear it. Anyway, trolling his own guy, and he's not.
Did you say that about Shark?
No, he was saying.
I feel like you literally just went the other way with that.
No,
when we're talking about recency bias, you backed me, and now I don't feel like you're on your side right here. We're gonna give you a second before we get to team number 1 because I'm not understanding.
I don't like CMC at all. I don't like the injury history that he's had. I don't like his usage in the last 2 years. It's just not happening.
Can you say all one more time?
All?
That's not.
See, for me, I feel the exact same way that Ron does, and this is a rare occurrence here, so I'm going to take it. I would take JT, Henry, Eckler. I wouldn't take Najee, Cook, Mixon. I would take all those guys before CMC. I think right where my level is CMC and Najee. I don't like the line for either one of them. I just don't like the situations that they're in this case. I understand Baker is kind of an upgrade, but I just don't like it. Baker's an upgrade to Sam Darnold and whoever's there, so he is. Don't say that he isn't.
Hey, Ronald, that's a tough one. I think the highest ceiling in the NFL is CMC.
I'd rather have Swift too.
I'd eat that one for sure. I'll take CMC just for the potential in the first round because I'm going CMC Henry as my 1 and 2.
CMC and Henry is the 101 and 102?
Easy.
Okay. I don't hate it. For the people that like him.
Recency bias for Derrick Henry again.
No,
how many weeks until Henry went out did Jonathan Taylor take to finally – he was still leading the league in rushing weeks after being gone. Like that, hey.
Here's my thing, and I'm just gonna address what Ethan said real quick. So he said Henry was on more of a was more than 1/12 of the winning rosters last season. the numbers say that player good enough to get you to the playoffs gives you a better chance to make a run. CMC could be that guy. Of course he could. But at the end of the year, this is what I'm looking at. All soft tissue injuries that he's have gotten worse year to year. He keeps getting the exact same things with hamstring pulls and so on and so forth.
What about Eckler? How are you taking Eckler then?
Eckler had ankle injuries that were from being rolled up on and shit like that.
Didn't his meat get ripped off the bone?
No. Anyway,
Anthony.
So for me, get in the chat, please. But for me, someone like him, I just don't trust. You want to know something really funny? And I'm going back to his combine here. I know Combine doesn't care. He had 10 reps on the freaking bench press. As a running back, it should be higher. It should be at least 15 or higher. He put up 10. CMC. He's soft.
That obviously proves that doesn't matter. Because he also had the best running back season that's ever.
No, understood. He did.
Right. I think the only people that ever had better than him was like Jerry Rice, and he's a big cheater, but like in the 80s.
Yeah.
And I could be wrong, right?
I don't know. I can't keep trying to defend this. I until you can show me proof other than his one season that he had one of the best seasons ever from a running back and has improved it since. I can't get on board. What are we? I already answered that one. Well,
Anthony,
he wasn't playing 2 years ago.
Anthony used to like AJ Green. And Frank's the one that hates AJ Green.
Well,
Henry is so dominant. It's so fun having him on our fantasy team. Henry, I have zero concerns. CMC is a no doubter at 2 for me. See? Oh, get him, Dustin. I don't even know what I said. I have no concern.
Well, we keep bouncing around.
Watching these chats, like, hey, things are flying right now, so I apologize because we're waiting to get to number 1. I know we are.
No, let's move on to number 1 so we can cut down everything.
I have a ton of concern. No, we got to, we're going to respect our chat, Mike.
All right.
Unless you gritty, I'll move on right now. I have a ton of concern for CMC. They're not the same. Henry finished at RB21 with 8 games played.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
Yeah, I don't hate him at all.
40-point games. Look at this. Hey, come on. Hey, I'm telling you, the whole world's telling you about Henry.
That's fine. No, Ron's on my side. So I'm on board with the way.
Oh, here it is. This is what I was looking for.
Whatever. It is what it is.
Okay, we always got to go to Tycoon. We always got to get a.
Guy's older than an insane workload, and finally.
Hey, the nicest mustache in fantasy football right here. He's elevated from the best dressed man. He has the nicest mustache.
Tycoon, I didn't get to tell you this, and I kind of want to now because I just feel safer doing it. Have you ever watched like any of the videos on like Facebook or TikTok, and it's that guy that's in the guy that likes to go to Ravens games and have his like computer on him and do like meetings on game day, and he has that handlebar mustache? You look exactly like him. It's crazy. Yeah, all these things about it. We could argue the top 4 or 5 running backs. It doesn't really matter. End of the day, they all have some type of issue or thing going on. And it's really, who do you trust more? JT for me is always going to be number 1. And it's really because of the concept that he has a better team, better line, better situation. I can't get on board with CMC because of the team and everything else around him. So
I think Ant hit it on the head right here.
Yeah.
And we had this conversation.
Yeah. So, all right. Let's move on and get to the final team. I think everybody is waiting.
Wait, you're supposed to read the top 3. Our boss said you're supposed to read the top 3.
No, right? You mean the top 6. So I'm gonna read back the top 6. So we had,
and I'll post the chats on there so you guys can read craziness that's going on. Because if you're not subscribed, you're not seeing it. We're not replying to your chats. So here you go.
So we got FF Season as the number 6 team. We got Jake the Snake as number 5. We got Calbeck as number 4. We got KJ Flint as the number 3. and we got Bit Boys as the number 2. So as our number 1 ranked team, he got a rank from everybody in the group, which was very rare in this occurrence. The only other team that got that was KJ Flint. It is AB is King, is the number 1 overall best mock of Friday night. So to break it down a little bit, Dustin had him as his 4th ranked team. I had him as my 2nd ranked team. Frank had him as his 5th ranked team, and Ant had him as his 1st ranked team. So this is just, I don't even want to read half of this stuff anymore.
I bet you didn't get 5 out of 6 on this one.
No, I did not. This one was a little bit crazier. So
hey,
for
we're
me,
talking about Pondemon. Don't read the chats. Hey,
I'm not even reading all that.
PG-13. It's a family show.
Yeah. So congrats, AB is King. I'm gonna read off your roster that won it. We got Joe
Read it
Burrow.
in full too.
Huh?
We got to read it in full for sure.
Oh, I will. So we got Joe Burrow in the 1st round. Then we got Tom Brady in the 2nd. Aaron Jones rounding out the 3rd, going to Ezekiel Elliott in the 4th, grabbing DJ Moore in the 5th, Brandon Cooks in the 6th, stealing George Kittle. I mean,
that's such a
stealing him in the 7th round with Hunter Renfrow right after. Then goes with Devin Singletary in the 9th, Dameon Pierce in the 10th, Zach Wilson as his maybe 3rd QB at 11. We already talked about DJ Chark in Ignosium. Then we got KJ Osborne in the 13th, a very under wide receiver and a really heavy pass offense. Then with Jamal Williams in the 14th and Joshua Palmer at the 15th. Honestly, there is not a pick here that I can really sit here and say I'd rather have a pick. Like the only guy I would probably have liked better out of all of this is probably Sutton. No, Sutton over Moore. But other than that, I think Sutton would have made this team for me. I had him as my 5th ranked team. I mean, I would have loved if he had Sutton here. I think that would have been, over DJ Moore. Better quarterback, better system, better, scenario. DJ Moore just hasn't. What's the big stat on him? He can't get touchdowns. He's only had 4 in his 4 every season. Guys like him, I'm just not on board with. But other than that, the consistency, the volume for Brandon Cooks, Hunter Renfrow, DJ Chark, Osborne, Palmer, all these guys I'm on board with. The Wilson pick is, a good throwaway pick. It's fine. He'll be fine. He'll be back after week 2 or 1 or 2. No, I think it's week 2 or 3. So that's fine.
Hey, don't disrespect Wilson in front of me, please.
No, he's a dog.
He's a man of the year.
Anthony makes a good point. Classic is taking Sutton over CMC. Of course he would over, DJ Moore. I kind of would. I would take Sutton anywhere. Tried getting his jersey tonight, failed. But it is what it is. So in this case, real life stuff. So Joe Burrow, Tom Brady, love it. Love Aaron Jones. I think he's one of the best picks for this. He got Ezekiel Elliott after the fact. I know he's a Cowboy. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, this guy hasn't not been wide running back 10 or less. So he always ends up in the top 10 in one way or another. I love the volume that Brandon Cooks is going to have. Hunter Renfrow, love it. Kittle, I absolutely love Kittle as a player. I think you do need a little bit of help. I think the Cole Kmet pick, well, if you could have got Freiermuth, I guess, that would have been a better idea, or Gesicki or someone just to kind of round out your, to have a backup just in case. Love the DJ Chark pick. Like we said, Joshua Palmer is going to, Joshua Palmer and KJ Osborne are guys that can step in as wide receiver 2s and absolutely destroy things this season. So I really like those particular picks. So I maybe should have graded this my first ranked team, but overall I couldn't get over the Hey man, I couldn't get over the build that FF season had, so for me, it just it stuck at one. This was a close number two for me. Ant had it as his number one ranked team, so I really like this team overall.
So Ant had him as number one. You had him as number two. I had him as number four.
And
Frank had him as
five.
number five.
Yeah.
I like it. A little old. I would definitely not want this team in any kind of dynasty.
Yeah,
and
Dynasty
again,
League, I'm not taking this team.
So I like it. Receivers are a little soft. Again, this is very, very hard to grade. But like we've kind of already talked about all these guys. I don't like the Singletary pick. I don't think he really has a very long shot, and also he's going to be mixed in. They're going to have three running backs over there. I don't think Zach Moss is going to be anything. I love Damian Pierce. I love that he grabbed a third quarterback. We talked about Shark. So, and Jameson Williams, like that's one of those late round picks. Like people argue that he's going to be the best receiver that's out there. He just is dealing with that injury. So,
yeah. I really like this team. I'm kind of, I think.
Are you switching right here live on air?
Yeah, we're live.
You're switching?
Switching what? No, I'm not switching. He is the number one ranked team. It doesn't really matter. I could switch it and it still wins. So he's the number one ranked team. So I'm good with my rankings. I like where he fell. I really do like the players that he grabbed and where he grabbed them, the build that he had throughout. I think it was so hard for him to even pivot to like a thing where he would go, I don't know, Thielen or Davis or, more. I think even if he went wide receiver there, that would have been great too. And then just wait on Ertz. But, at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. I think he had a wonderful build. And I did say Jamal Williams for the tight end for the running the running back for the Detroit
I think
Lions.
that was me too.
Oh, okay.
Remember, I couldn't get the first part. Part of the
Jameson Williams.
Yeah.
No, you're good.
Either way,
I like it.
Hey, if Swift goes down, and the reason I'm so high on Swift too, obviously, like Tycoon makes everybody opens their eyes on Swift, but he's somebody that I had in more of my drafts last year than anybody else. I think they're going to be losing so much in Detroit.
Yeah, they got to throw. Yeah,
they have to, and so they're going to check down. They're going to do all that kind of stuff, and that's where he's going to get his points. So
yeah, no, Swift is legit. I'm slowly, rising on him as well. If he wasn't kept in my keeper league, I probably would have went for him. The injuries have caught up to him a little bit. So, congratulations to the top three. So the top three for us is KJ Flint, Bit Boys, and AB is King. So congratulations to you guys. You guys are going to be making it to the top or to the best ball that we're going to be having. So keep an eye out for that. I will send you that. I forgot to send the things out to you, so don't worry. I will send them to you shortly and get you in that particular draft. So just keep an eye out in your DMs on Sleeper for those particular things. I mean, we didn't even get to go all the way into our, our partners and everything. I mean,
break it down, Mike. That's what we're here for. We're trying to argue about CMC in the chat.
So make sure you guys
don't forget to read off all 9 teams. Next week is the last week to make the top 3. Hey, okay. Done, boss.
You got it. So promo code, make sure you guys use promo code Get Right when you guys use Underdog Fantasy. Check out Underdog Fantasy. They have everything. Best ball. I think Pomeranian came back. If memory serves me, I'm going to double check it real quick. I thought I saw a Pomeranian in here. One more look. No, I guess it went away. Satellite Fishbowl. They got the Big Dog. They got the Best Ball Mania. You go. Make sure you guys use that promo code. When you do use that promo code, they will match up anything that you put in up to $100. So make sure you guys do that. That's a free $100. I know I want that. So other than that, he wants us to read off the 9 other teams that didn't make it.
Hey, we don't listen to Ant when he's not on chat. We do what we want. Hey, Gritty Mike, you're in charge. Hey, so we agreed, guys. It's a special for everybody that's been watching. this long, Mike's going to do the gritty right now.
No.
Gritty Mike.
No, you missed it. No, you're good. So
What?
you said that I'm running the show. You're good. So in this case, top 3, we got KJ Flint, Bit Boys. What? The top the top 9 that are already in. That's what he's talking about. All righty. So the top 9 that are already in.
So no gritty?
No gritty. We got we got FFT, AJ in the house. We got Shane coming back and being in this. We got Wilson. He's in it. We got FF Tycoon in it. We got Rafi Bomb. Denny Rolls. We got AB is King with Bit Boys and KJ Flint. They will be all in the best ball until we have, of course, next week. Them boys, what do you want to see? Who's in it? I already showed you.
No, the gritty.
Oh, we ain't seen it. Anyway, so we have all of our mock rooms that are open Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday this week. Make sure you guys get in. Make sure you guys get into those if you are not one of those particular people that I read off. So AJ, Shane, Wilson, Tycoon, Rafi, Denny, AB is King, Bit Boys, KJ Flint, you are automatically out for this week. But anyone else that wants to join, you get one this week. Make sure you find a mock that works for you and your time and your day. And the top 3 from those are going to compete this Friday. And then we'll see you guys again on Monday on top of seeing you guys on Friday. So make sure you guys get in. No, I ain't going to.
We're at $50 in the chat.
No, we're good.
Hey, $50, dude.
No, I'm good, brother. So anyway, guys,
a beer drinking night for sure.
Oh, I definitely it would have to be on a night that I'm like hammered, and
okay.
I don't think that will ever happen on here.
Hey, what about the 4 a.m. ones Sunday mornings?
Oh yeah, maybe we'll see.
Now we know, chat.
Saturday mornings, Jesus.
Yeah, now we know, chat.
Don't worry, guys. Don't worry. One of these days, you'll get to see me do the gritty. Anyway, so I just want to say congratulations. Huh?
Warriors
lost. Oh, I'm glad that you had fun, man. Glad that you can make it. Glad that you can be here. We'll get you classic. Never say never.
Don't put the boys chat on there.
No, we're definitely we're gonna be wrapping it up. I got to get some sleep. It's almost 1 o'clock here. So we are going to see you guys on Friday. We will be back and doing the Friday night mocks for the last semifinal group. So make sure you guys check it out. Make sure you guys come back to us on next Monday where we do the top 6 again from our last one. And we will do, of course, the raffle for the listener league. So make sure
you say a brisket.
Huh?
Are you going to say a brisket? That'd be cool.
What?
A little brisket giveaway.
Maybe we'll have some. I think we might just make that a special show where we like give out everything that we're looking to promote. I think we might do that.
Just meet in the middle of the world, the middle of USA. Like, hey, we'll meet in Texas or something. Like,
do a gritty in the middle. No, we're good.
Did you do it?
No, I don't have time or the money.
Hey, we can make it happen.
We'll see. Anyway, you guys, make sure you guys check us out. Make sure you guys like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. For myself, for Anthony, for Frank, my guy down here who got to join me tonight, which I'm just so happy to have him here. So thanks to Dustin for coming by. Hope to have him here again. I just want to keep doing shows with you, man. So for everybody here at Get Right, check us out, and we'll see you later.
Anthony, I'll see you on the after show, the Patreon.
Later.